Hi class, this is Professor Jimenez, and this video is about designing your elevator speech. So when you think about your elevator speech, there's a couple things I want you to consider. First and foremost, I want you to consider that the elevator speech is typically meant to be a tool that you can use whenever you are engaging with anyone, whether it's during an interview, it could be a prospective employer. The idea behind the elevator speech is that you use it as an opportunity to describe who you are, what you're about, and you try to make it as succinct and as easy as possible for the other person to understand. Usually, an elevator speech can be done in about 30 seconds. There are cases where it's okay to go over 30 seconds, but I would say no more than 2 minutes. The official definition that I found from a couple of sources, including the University of North Dakota, is that the elevator speech is a 30-second speech that effectively describes a person, business, or idea. It's called the elevator speech because the idea of it is that from the time it takes you to ride an elevator from one floor to the other or to your destination, that's how much time you have, in essence, to really tell somebody about you. The speech is really designed to persuade and convince somebody in that short of time why you might be of interest to them, whether it's as a future hire or somebody that could possibly be an interest to them when it comes to opening or positions that may open up in the future. So the idea is that with the elevator speech, you're giving your listener some unique pieces of information or impressive attributes or characteristics about you and what you can bring to their business or organization. The idea also is to give you the sense and to give the employer the sense that you're organized, you have your thoughts together, you're clear, you're poised, and you're confident. The elevator speech is really an opportunity in a very short, quick amount of time to really develop, I would say, a brand about yourself, aka a good positive image about you to your prospective employer. So the elevator speech can serve many things, but the one element, especially for those of you that may be looking to switch jobs or even switch careers as you go through the Mildred program, there's a couple things that you want to highlight. Again, part of the elevator speech is not just to tell them how great you are. It's also about reminding them and letting them know what are really the three things that you can bring to the table. What are the three things that make you potentially stand out from others that are going for the same exact position that they are in? Many people will go and apply for the same job. Why are you different? How are you different? And there's three ways that we do that. Typically, in every elevator speech, it's recommended that you include these three elements in some form or another. Your education, your skills, or at least a skill, as well as some of your professional work experience. These three things should be included as part of your elevator speech. Now, if you've been doing the assignments in this class, thinking about a skill such as a strength of yours is something that you've already done as part of your week one assignments. In terms of your education and experiences, these are things that you had to draft up as part of your cover letter and resume. So you have this information already. The question is, how do you incorporate these elements into your elevator speech? The other thing that you want to think about is, the elevator speech is not just about telling them again how great you are and what's your education and your skill and your experiences, but it's really an opportunity to help you set the stage with the interviewer. And really let them know, again, what are some of the things about your education that make you unique? Are they looking for somebody that has phlebotomy skills, or somebody who's a people person who can deal with difficult people? These are things that you should read in your job descriptions and make sure that you include as part of your highlights. If you happen to have medical experience, that's something that should definitely be in your elevator speech. And even if you don't have a lot of experience in the medical field or in business, because you're transferring from one industry to another, you can always talk about how those, although you've worked in business for the last couple of years, this is how it relates to the medical experience. Or maybe you're transferring from being a paralegal to business and you can do the same exact thing. Also, this is why we ask you, what are some of the skills you want to talk about? Are you a people person? Are you organized? Are you a leader? These are the kind of things that you should include very briefly into your overall interview. And again, as I mentioned in my weekly video, by creating an elevator speech, you also are preparing yourself to answer one of the common questions you'll find in most interviews. Tell me about yourself. When somebody tells you, tell me about you, or tell me about yourself, or, tell me a little bit about your history, the elevator speech helps you to answer those questions. So by being prepared and creating an elevator speech, you are in essence preparing yourself for not just having an elevator speech ready to go, but you're also using it as an opportunity to set yourself up to be able to answer one of the most common questions that you'll be asked in an interview. So this is a template that I was able to utilize from the University of North Dakota. And I wanted to use an existing template that would be fairly easy for you to update and to change, but more importantly, something that I think quickly does the job of getting the point across of what it is that you are trying to do. And again, the goal of the elevator speech is to get the other person interested in you so that you can ultimately apply for the job and hopefully get the interview. So here's an example. Again, this is pretty standard speech, but you'll need to update the content that's in it. So for example, it says, my name is blank. You should always state your name. Unless you already start with, hi, I'm Rob, I'm John, whoever. And then if it says, tell me about yourself, John, then you can just jump into the next part of the sentence, which is, I'm a student at Mildred Elley, and I am majoring in, what are you majoring in? Are you in medical assisting? Are you a paralegal student? Are you a business student? And what's your career goal? What are you trying to achieve? We then go into a strength of yours. So, I'm an organized professional. I'm good with time management. I am somebody who is a hard worker and somebody who learns quickly. Again, think about which strengths or skills you want to highlight. And you give an example of when you use this strength, such as in my daily job. Throughout my last 10 years of my career, I have always been organized, and it has helped me to not only maintain employment, but it's also helped me to get promoted or to move to other divisions, whatever the point is. The point is you want to think about this template and really ask yourself, what are some of the things you want to talk about to highlight some of your skills? In addition, last but not least, you can say to your interviewer, I can be an immediate benefit to your company thanks to my blank, whatever that may be. So for some of you, this could be, I'm going to be a benefit to your company because of my 20 years in the medical space, for example. Some of you may instead say, well, I'm going to be an immediate need. Sorry about that. Let me start again. I can be an immediate benefit to your company thanks to the education that I received at Mildred Elley, where I was able to learn the following skills, such as phlebotomy, reading electrocardiograms, excuse me, and taking vitals. The point I want to make is this is a template, and what I want you to do is to think about how do you customize this for your job so that you're highlighting the best pieces about you. So on the next slide, I have an example that we've set up, which really highlights a medical example. This can be for medical assisting, it can be for LPN. And here's an example. My name is Juan, and I am a student at Mildred Elley. I am majoring and getting my associates in medical assisting. I want to become a medical professional where I can work with patients and further develop my skills in this space. I am a relationship builder, which I demonstrated when I provided quality customer service to my patients and developed rapport with my patients during that time. Currently, I'm looking for a job or I can utilize my skills, experience, and education to take care of my patients. I can be an immediate benefit to your company, or in this case, your practice, because of my experiences at Mildred Early, where I learned phlebotomy, electrocardiograms, and can immediately apply these skills at your company or practice. Again, this is just a very quick generic overview. I want you to use this as your template for those of you in the medical space. On this next slide, this is an example that you could, it's more paralegal specific, but you could apply it to either paralegal or business. But it's pretty similar. We just switched some of the skills and some of the other concepts around a little bit. So in this case, it's my name is Jane. I'm a student at Mildred Elliott, and I'm majoring and getting my associates in paralegal studies. I want to become a paralegal professional where I can work with my clients and further develop my skills in the space. I am a relationship builder, which I demonstrated when I provided quality customer service and developed rapport with my clients. I'm looking for a job where I can utilize my skills, experience, and education to take care of my clients. I can be an immediate benefit to your practice because of my experience at Mildred Elliott, where I learned about torts, legal research, and can immediately apply these skills at your practice. The point is, I pretty much took two different examples that are similar, but just to give you a flavor of what the elevator speech is. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to use the template that you've seen in this presentation and use it to draft and create your elevator speech. With that, create your elevator speech and submit it via the Week 5 tab in the eLearn site. And again, the idea is that this is a draft, so make sure you use this template to guide you through the process. Again, feel free to change certain words around so that it's in your speech, it's in your talking patterns. You don't want to sound like you're reading something. You want to sound like this is coming directly from you. So use this template as a guide to help you as you begin to draft your elevator speech. With that, good luck, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.